I don't know what to do with the word plural family. I think we're sister wives that are raising kids together, that we're part of the plural family. The kids don't have a great relationship with Kody. Not all the wives have a good relationship with each other. So that's why I wouldn't say it's a plural family. I would say that what Janelle and I have is a sister wife family.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. It is Tuesday, September 17th, 2024. Are Kody and Robyn planning to defraud Janelle and Meri from their rightful share of the proceeds of Coyote Pass? What will happen to the combined assets of the family now that there has been a split? Well, Christine Brown has some thoughts, and her thoughts include that Kody will likely defraud both Janelle and Meri of their assets. Yikes. There has also been some news regarding Janelle Brown's son, Garrison, who passed away in March because his home has now been listed for sale. The house listing was posted on Friday, September 13th, and is using a real estate company that is different than the one that Kody and Robyn are using. This to me suggests that Janelle is managing the listing of this place, not Kody and Robyn, with some fans concerned that the proceeds of the sale could end up in the grimy little hands of Kody Brown. With finances always being a topic of conversation and concern for the family, and with Janelle always concerned about her rightful share because she was last year stating that she was 50 years old without any nest egg. Well, we know in the offseason, Janelle paid for property in North Carolina and purchased 150 acres with her daughter Maddie and her son in law Caleb. In the episode that aired on Sunday night, we saw Christine Brown talk about her concern that Janelle Brown would be stuck on Coyote Pass if she planned to build, and that she potentially could be stuck near Kody and Robyn. Her plan was to help encourage Janelle to leave Flagstaff and possibly find a new place to live, with the conversation revolving around Janelle's probable move out of Flagstaff. Now, in the episode, we saw Janelle and Maddie discuss the possibility of purchasing property in Montana. We know that that did not happen, and they decided to stay in North Carolina. Later in the same episode, when Meri was confronted by her friend Brandy about what she was going to do about her property in Flagstaff, Meri said that she was going to get her rightful share, but Christine suspected that that might not happen. Check it out.
What about the land? I will get my spot of land. So I signed my parcel of land over to the family. I hope that Janelle and Meri get a fair share of it. I suspect they won't, just because I know Kody and how he works. I don't think they're going to get their fair share. Just telling you, I just don't. I don't like talking about it. It makes me so frustrated.
So Meri doesn't seem to be concerned that she's going to get her spot or her rightful share of Coyote Pass. However, I want to note something, that in June of 2023, they paid off all of the parcels. There was recently an article stating that money is still owed on Coyote Pass, and that's false. There are no current loans out on Coyote Pass. It was paid in full and released from the lender in June of 2023. The parcels are jointly owned by Kody and Robyn, Meri and Janelle. Meri is on one parcel, Janelle is on two parcels, Robyn is on, I think, three parcels. Meri and Janelle are not independently on any of the parcels. In fact, they are jointly on parcels with either each other or with Kody. Now, the way that the property was purchased, it was all supposed to be family property. And McKelty explained how the family pot works in her Patreon last night. Basically, what she said was that when purchases were made for homes and money was made on the show, it all went into a family pot. And that family pot was used for purchases of homes. And so when things needed to be purchased, whether it was a house or a car or whatever was in their budget, whatever they were looking at, or college or whatever, people would go to this pot to get money. So she shared the example of her mother's house. Like when her mom bought her house in Flagstaff, she needed a down payment. So she went to the family pool of money where she got money for the down payment. She also stated that when Christine sold her home in Vegas, the proceeds of that sale also went into that family pot. Basically, how it sounds is that there was a family pot of money that Kody controlled. Kody and Robyn, frankly. So when Robyn became the legal wife of 2015, that family pool of money was controlled by Kody Brown and his wife Robyn. Kody, when he says that he loaned money to Christine, he really didn't loan anything to her at all. It came from money that she made. And McKelty actually pointed that out, that even though there were claims that she took money from this pot, she also replenished it with the proceeds of her sale and with income that she made on the show. It was Kody and Robyn, though, that were using that money and not telling anyone what they were doing with it. They were filling their house with expensive paintings and art and statues and amethyst and buying luxury cars and jewelry and just spending, spending, spending. Because in the world of polygamy, regardless of what we know and what we believe, the men control the money and all the money belongs to the man. So in Kody's mind, even though he's putting the women on property with him, he will still manipulate them to believe that they can't sue him, or he will manipulate them to believe that he's actually the main owner and they're just a minority share, or he will not divide everything equally and instead he'll say you can have half of this parcel because I'm on the other half. Really what he did was he screwed all of them because he put his name on everything, and he makes it harder because not only do the wives have to fight with each other over the money, but they also have to fight him, making it more complicated to divide the assets. Even if they were to sell the property today, Kody and Robyn will walk away with the most because their names are on individually the most parcels. Kody's name is on every parcel with every other woman, and therefore he is actually entitled to an equal share of the equity. One parcel is actually jointly owned by Kody, Janelle, and Meri, meaning they only are entitled to a third of that one parcel. Kody gets a third of that parcel. He gets 100% of his parcels with Robyn and the ones he owns by himself, and 50% of the one that he owns with Janelle. They will not get their rightful share. And Christine is being honest there. The smart thing for these women to do would have been to hire a lawyer and to sue him. Sue him both for non payment for the show, lost wages, wage claims, and theft and fraud. They had been so conditioned for years that if you really want to be honest, if we want to be honest, Kody was labor trafficking these women to work on a show for him. And then and the money they produced because of the family being paid a lump sum, Kody didn't make them feel like that money belonged to them. Instead, he said it was his money and he could do whatever he wanted with it. Now, Janelle did control the finances and manage the finances, but she didn't manage those joint accounts. And I highly doubt there was a bank account that had all of them on the account. Janelle stated that when she did taxes, when she was trying to buy her own place, she noticed that the family's pot of money had been liquidated. They were spending money on things they didn't need, spending money on things that weren't approved, taking money out of that pot as though it was only theirs. When Kody and Robyn got together, they basically had all of these women making money for them on the show. They were basically labor trafficked. I mean, for all intents and purposes, labor and sex trafficked, because not only are they forced to work for Kody and hand over all their money for Kody, they're also forced to have sex with Kody whenever Kody wants to have sex or not have sex. So I know that we're trying to glamorize polygamy and act like what's happening isn't criminal, but it is. And if you aren't paying attention to the news, uh, Sean Diddy Combs was just charged and indicted in a federal case for forced labor and sex trafficking. And he used his company to force people to do what he wanted. and made women participate in acts they didn't want to participate in and forced them to work for him when they didn't want to work for him. If Diddy can be taken down and no one's above the law, if I were Kody Brown, I'd be shaking in my boots because he's another example of a man willfully trafficking people on television. His nephew Ben has even gone as far as to say that Kody is doing to his family exactly what Ben's dad Scott did to him. Ben was labor trafficked and forced to work in a bakery as a child and denied education and wasn't paid, and all of the money went to his dad. Cody's doing the same thing with his family. They're all participating in a show to feed his ego, and none of them were getting paid except for Kody. And then when they did need money, Kody acted like it was a gift, right? Because he said we had to loan money to Christine to buy her house. Think about that. Think about Christine had a house in Vegas that she sold and gave the proceeds of that to Kody. And then she needed a loan to buy her house. When Kody says family money, he's talking about Cody's money. That's right. So Kody and the fraud continues, and Christine is basically saying the quiet part out loud and trying to connect dots and tell the audience that Kody is going to and has been defrauding the family, and he will likely defraud Janelle and Meri. So that was one part of that episode I wanted to talk with you about. So what will happen with Coyote Pass? That remains to be seen. So on Friday, Janelle Brown listed Garrison Brown's home on the market. In December 28th of 2021, Garrison purchased this townhouse for $329,000. The house was listed on the 13th of September for $425,000. This place is a townhouse that has 1,400 square feet, 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and sits on a very small 1,300 square foot lot. It has a small little courtyard, garden area that's very overrun. There's paint on and graffiti on their fence that's around his little courtyard, and they've basically cleaned it out. There's nothing in the house. It's as it was before Garrison moved in. He did do some updating to the kitchen and put in some recessed lighting in the ceiling, and everything that had been under construction has now been finished in the kitchen. This house has in-house it has laundry and 4 bedrooms. The bedrooms aren't very big, 2 full bathrooms, and it's basically being listed as an option for the military or for someone that might be in school. It says the centrally located townhouse is just minutes away from downtown Flagstaff. The home has fresh paint, vinyl floors, and air conditioning. On the main level, you will find a living room with gas fireplace, kitchen, pantry, laundry, washer, dryer, and office done with 3/4 bathroom. Upstairs, you find 4 bedrooms, each with vaulted ceilings. A full bath is located upstairs. The home has a small fenced-in courtyard and a small fenced-in backyard as well. This house is perfect for someone looking for functionality in individual bedrooms. The unit includes 2 dedicated parking spots and overflow parking, terrific opportunity in Flagstaff. So it's a smaller unit. It's by saying that it's good for individual bedrooms, basically stating like if you want to buy this house for investment and rent the rooms out as like what Garrison did, where you're owner renter. Um, but yeah, the place was built in 1979. It does have, some upgraded vinyl, but it would need work. Like if someone wanted to buy it and rent it out, they wouldn't need to do any upgrades. But if you're going to live in it, you'd probably want to remodel the bathrooms, maybe even the kitchen. The counters are old. Everything looks like it's the way it was constructed or maybe done. It may be remodeled in the 80s or 90s. So this house also has taxes of $1,100, and there's also obviously homeowners association fees that are due to the townhouse community. So the house is now on the market, and there is a mortgage on the house. Garrison does have an ongoing mortgage payment or mortgage that's being paid by the family. So if you're expecting a windfall here, it's highly doubtful that there's a lot of money in equity because he only owned the home for 3 years, 2.5 years before his death. The first few years of the mortgage, very little is actually paid on principal. And so with his closing fees and with attorney's fees, they're not going to walk away with a ton of money. She might get some from the sale of the home. And if you're wondering if any of that money will go to Janelle or to Kody, it's highly unlikely that any of the money will go to Kody. If Garrison has a will, his will dictate where the proceeds of all of his money will go to. It's more than likely that Janelle is probably the beneficiary of all of his estate. So it'll be some money for Janelle. If there's any, like if he has any credit card debt or loans, that can be used, the proceeds can be used to pay that off, along with any of his life insurance that she would have acquired from the military. So it's sad, obviously, to have to sell your son's home, knowing that this was something that he was so proud of. And if you're wondering if there has to be any disclosure to sellers in the state of Arizona if a death occurs, the answer is no. A law was passed in Arizona which does not make any seller have to share if a death, natural death, suicide, or homicide occurs in a home, because frankly, that would be considered what's called a stigmatized property, and the reason why people don't want to live in those homes is because generally they think they're haunted. People are worried that these houses are haunted. Some people don't want to be associated with them because something bad happened there. But at the end of the day, it's just a house. And there's no spirits that are going to be in that home. And so sellers do not have to disclose anything that happened in that house. That's bad, period. Because at the end of the day, again, it's just a house. So, and it's honestly a great location for anyone that's a student or living in Flagstaff or who wants to rent to students. That's what Garrison was doing. It's a sad chapter for Janelle to have to close that, but it'll be probably nice for her to have one less thing to tie up in Flagstaff so she can move forward and on with her life in North Carolina. And Christine remains concerned that Kody and Robyn are going to rip off Janelle and Meri. What are your thoughts? Make sure to leave some comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. We're almost getting closer and closer to 400,000 subscribers. Every day, there's a large percentage of you that are not subscribed to the channel, so make sure you go ahead and subscribe and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, everyone.